Hello all, hope you is good. Welcome to another Sunhaven video, except this one's slightly special. For you see, I have broken the game. Let's begin with the obvious, step 0. The first step in any great journey is the pre-step, obviously. For the grand quest of breaking the game, I needed a character who could be devilish enough for the job. Delightfully devilish, mayhaps.
Delightfully devilish, Seymour.
You know he's a demon, and not an incubus, because he's a skinner, not a charmer. Like all good game exploits, this one requires an item. Here, the plan will be to get my hands on a mana tome. We're going to break the game with the blue bar this time. While there's a lot of ways to increase the maximum mana, such as potions, using the town fountain, or eating foods, here we'll be having fun without a library card, but with the full benefits of reading. There's two main ways to get your hands on one, especially early game. The first, rather simply, is to go to areas where mobs spawn and hope one drops on the ground. The best area for this is the forest to the west of your farm, but you can also use other areas, such as the East Forest, otherwise known as the Deep Wilderness, as well as the path to Elias. The second way, and this way does take far more effort, is to get to the tier 4 mining skill, Tomes of Mana, which then allows you to create said items. After trying the different zones in the forest for 5 in-game days, I decided to give up on mana tomes dropping for me personally, and instead chose to spend extra time getting rock and stone to make my book. Okay, you have the item. Great stuff. Now, here's the important part. Don't use it in the item menu. Instead, assign it to your hotbar. Now, one detail I need to mention is that I'm playing on the PC, most updated version of the game, and using an Xbox controller, which the controller is the part of this that makes the exploit work. While the mana tome is the active item in your hotbar, you then press X, or whatever works for you as the use item button on your controller if it isn't Xbox, and voila! The game does not consume the book, and now you can use it to your heart's content. It looks like some Super Saiyan aura when you press and hold the button, which is great because this is what it means to go even further beyond. Alright, you've seen the exploit now. The rest is for fun. From here, I decided to try limit testing and various other things. So, I have some features that I'd like to note during my testing. While using the book to gain mana, if you use a spell such as Vacuumulus, the mana gain will be temporarily halted while the spell is being used. You will continue to gain mana while air skipping, however. A weird little loophole in the system, but hey, we take it. If you use this mana gain exploit, when you have the skill node for gain money while recovering mana, you're going to be rich as heck from all them gains. And that's heck with 2 C's, by the way. When you start to hit about 100,000 max mana, your save file gets a bit funny. For instance, as I was testing a few things while recording this footage, which took 2 days over multiple recording sessions all told, the game would have response issues while loading the save or when I went to sleep. That is definitely a skill issue. I eventually got the save to have over 1 million max mana. From this, when you look at character stats, the display on your mana starts to clip into the side, but most importantly, I gathered from this that there's no hard set mana gain. It's likely going to be a negative integer overflow thing, but that would eat literally weeks of my time, maybe months, to get to that point. I was happy to conclude after way too long already getting to this point that 1 million mana is more than enough for anyone's needs. Lastly to note, the mana has a few extra benefits that can be used alongside it. For instance, how about that Nelvari feature where you deposit mana to get the mana orb currency? Yeah, that's kinda broken. Also, I did test the mana to health converter in the Sunhaven sewers, but that's once per day and for the set amount. So if you replicate this, you'll want to convert your health from mana sooner rather than later. In short, having unlimited mana is fair and balanced. Unfortunately, however, all the mana in the world isn't enough to befriend the wise old man.
You know what I've learned, kid? The early bird catches the lemon, and makes it into lemonade. Or something like that,